All right. Hey there. I just got off a Facebook Live. We were talking about the 6 things to do to avoid a crash the week after Easter, what your church can do to build off that momentum. And one of the things that we talked about is running a Facebook ads campaign. I love recommending churches save 20% of your budget to do remarketing after Easter, inviting people back to your next week and building and inviting people through Mother's Day if you're in the United States. And so we had a lot of churches asking, okay, what would that look like? How do you set up custom audiences? How do you set up a campaign to do that strategy? So I wanted to jump in and show you how to do an example remarketing strategy after a big event like Easter. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to jump into your business manager, ads manager. I recommend being on Facebook Business Manager. It's the business side as opposed to the personal side. That's what you're going to see on my screen. You can get more information at business.facebook.com if you're not over on this side yet. But one of the things you're going to do once you log in is you're going to go set up your audiences. It's going to be under the assets column. You're going to click on audiences. What you're going to see here are the custom audiences that we already have set up for Summit Park Church. So we love setting up custom audiences. Custom audiences and the Facebook Pixel are, to me, the secret sauce to running a really highly effective Facebook ads campaign. So, man, you can see all the audiences that we have set up here, and they all have kind of a different purpose. And for this case, I'm going to show you what I would recommend post Easter. Now, it's going to be the most effective if you've got access to, say, an email list of people who've, and I would say, visited on Easter or the past 2 months. Go ahead and kind of put them all in one email list. If you've set up the Pixel, the Facebook Pixel on your website, if you've been doing videos, invite videos on your Facebook page, it's going to make this type of campaign way more successful because you're going to have more people in your custom audiences. So if you look here at our custom audiences, you're going to see anything from, I saw a good one down there that was like 44,000 people. Some of these here. So people who've been on our website in the past 90 days, 4,300 people. People who've engaged with our Facebook page in the past year, 19,000 people. Our email subscribers, these are people who've watched at least 10 seconds of a Summit Park Church Facebook video in the past year. We got 44,000. So when we're talking about custom audiences, these people are in some shape or form have leaned into what our church is doing. They've engaged in some way. And when I coach in Church Marketing University, I'm always coaching people through this process that our friend over at Social Church, Josh Cook, talks about. It's like know, like, trust, attend, champion. And you're always building the pool of each of those and taking people down that journey. So and the custom audiences is where you're getting people who know about your church, like your church, trust your church, start attending your church, and then start becoming champions. We had one report this week from Easter at Summit Park Church. Somebody says, hey, last year, we watched Easter online for the first time. We decided to come the next week, and we've been here for a year and was just celebrating what God has done in their life. So we're always trying to take people who maybe don't know about the church, that we call those cold audiences, get them to at least know about the church. That gets them into one of these custom audiences. Now, once they know about the church, how do we get them to keep engaging, like, trust? Now, how do we invite them to attend on a big day like Easter, Christmas, Mother's Day, and then how do we invite them to keep attending on a regular basis? And then eventually, how do we turn them into a champion? People who are engaging, tagging their friends, commenting, sharing the post. So know, like, trust, attend, champion. That's the process, and custom audiences are really crucial for keeping people moving in that next step. So that's the numbers that you'll see here. So let's go through what this would look like for Easter. How do we build these custom audiences? So we're going to create an audience. We're going to create a custom audience in this case. Now you have your different options, and you're going to want to do any of these that apply. So, hey, website traffic. This is going to be dependent on if you've got your pixel set up on your page. So if you go to your church's page, so in this case, summitparkchurch.com, I'm in the Chrome browser and I've got this little plug-in extension called the Facebook Pixel Helper. It is lighting up green and it shows me the pixel ID, meaning, hey, the pixel is working, and every time somebody visits a page, it's firing off and it's connecting the dots with their Facebook profile. It's super powerful. So you can tell Facebook, hey, give me anybody who's been on the New Here page in the past 60 days or the Easter page in the past 60 days. So it can be really, really powerful, and you can do it based on your entire website, based on specific pages. So in this case, what if we did this? Instead of all website visitors, let's say, hey, we want to go back 60 days. We want to say people who've been on a specific page. In this case, I want to say, hey, new, and then include more people, new or guest, because I know some of these pages that we have include more people, or URL contains Easter. Here we go. I'm going to get rid of that. So anybody who's been on a URL that says, hey, they're new, they're guest, or they're Easter in the past 60 days, and this is going to be SPC website, website new pages past 60, and you always want to give it a good name and a good description. Please, please, please take the time to do this. Anyone who has been on our website in the past 60 days, new here pages. Okay, so I'm going to create this audience. And this typically takes a few hours now for Facebook to go and start populating this audience. That's fine. We're going to let that cook in the background. And what's cool too is that's going to be a dynamic audience, meaning if somebody visits that page, one of those pages tomorrow, they get added into this audience, which is then going to add them into the campaign that we're going to be setting up. So I'm essentially going to go through here in any of these that I can do, website traffic, customer files, for example, take every email address that you've gotten in the past that have come in through like the Connect cards in the past 2 months, all the ones from Easter, all the ones from your Easter egg hunt, all the ones from your outreach, any new visitors that came probably because of the campaigns and the invites you've been running, right? Export all those, just their email addresses, go into customer file, and then you can connect over from MailChimp if you've got a list of those people, or you can just upload a one that says that doesn't include, you don't need to include the LTV, which is lifetime value. Just upload a file and then drag it over here, say, hey, I got this directly from our customers, name your audience, this, give it a name, Summit Park Church, Connect cards past 60 days, anyone who filled out a Connect card from our outreaches, new here, visitor tents, information bar, all that, right? So now that's gonna be that email address, or that custom audience. So you're going to now have 2 custom audiences. I don't have those for this demonstration, so you're not going to see that. Now I'm going to say, hey, engagement, people who have watched at least, let's say 10 seconds of our videos. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select our Facebook page, Summit Park Church. I'm going to say, hey, anybody who's watched, in fact, let's change this. Let's go back and change this to 25%. And I'll explain why here in just a second. So I want to say people who have watched at least 25% of our video, and then I'm going to start choosing the videos. So in this case, we've done Facebook Lives, people who watched our service online, because remember that testimony, like there's going to be people who wanted to come that ended up just watching your streaming. So I'm going to say if they watch that, or if they're watching any of our like invite videos, look at all, we did this funny deal with a dinosaur. You just had to be here to get it. So any of these videos online, I'm going to go back even a little bit here to just really get a good range of people who've been kind of leaning into what we've been doing over the last little bit. So maybe they've been watching us a little bit and really thinking about should I come. So now I'm going to click confirm. I'm going to leave that 365 days. I'm going to say SPC Easter videos. And I could even just add 2019, and then anyone who has watched 25% of our SPC Facebook videos leading up to Easter and on Easter. Okay. If you have any questions too, throw those in the comments. Happy to answer those. So that's building that audience. Now, if this was leading up to Easter or Christmas, I'd probably be building lookalike audiences off that. We talk about that inside Church Marketing University, and inside this campaign we call Megatron. We have some fun with that. But this is specifically a retargeting tutorial video. So I'm not going to get into some of the lookalike audiences, some of the other fun things that you can do if you're now leading up to a big event like Christmas, Easter, Mother's Day, that type of stuff. So now I'm going to go over to Instagram. People who've engaged with our business, let's say in this case, we can just leave it like this. And this is going to be our Instagram profile. And I'm just going to go here and I'm going to stack all sorts of people here. So people, anyone who visited our profile, I'm going to include more. I don't know why that just doesn't keep on Summit Park, but it doesn't. Anybody who engaged with the poster and ad, include more. And then Summit Park, and then anybody who engaged with their video, include more, and then Summit Park, and then saved a post. In this case, what we might do is say, hey, let's because we're really targeting recency in these. So I'm going to change all this to 60 days. And it's not letting me change some of those, but okay. Let me see here. Okay, in this case, SPC Instagram engagement. And I'm not going to spend my time troubleshooting why it's not letting me. I'm just going to go on, but you get the idea. Anyone who has engaged with our IG account in the past 60 days. I'm not going to even worry about spelling or capitalization. So that's going to add that audience. So now we're starting to get some really good audiences here. And then events. So if you did like a Facebook event, or if you do Facebook events, so I'm going to change this to Summit Park Church. If you did like an outreach Easter egg hunt, you're then going to add the specific events. We don't do a ton of events, but we'll go back to, just for an example here. So we said, hey, anybody who's engaged with our events in the past year, so SPC events. This works better, again, if you've done some cool events leading up to Easter, events past year. And then a description, who has engaged with our Facebook events in the past year. And this is where you can also change here. Do you want people who responded going, interested, visited the event page? And you can just include more people as well. So you could go through and just, hey, if they've checked out the event page, you could just stack those so it's getting more and more people who are somewhat leaning in. Maybe they went to the page, but people who have visited the event page. So there you go. It can just stack those people. We can include more people here. People responded that they are going, so we can target all sorts of people. So specific events, you have to add some events. Okay, create audience. So now we've got our event audience done here. Create audience, custom audience. So we did video, did Instagram, did events, and then Facebook page. So this is where we're going to say, hey, Facebook page engagement. Again, we could come back through here and say 60 days. We can include more people, anyone who visited our page in the past 60 days. If you're maybe a smaller church, maybe you just leave that in the past year because you don't mind. A lot of people will get hung up. Should I do some exclusion audiences kind of to get rid of people who are already engaged? I'll show you where you could do that in a moment. I'm okay with including a lot of your champions in your ad campaigns because I like the social proof that they give me. I like the fact that even if they're in our ads, they'll be the people that when they see your ads, they will share, like, comment, engage. So in this case, this is Facebook page. So SPC, Facebook page, engagement, past 60 days. And then our description, anyone who has engaged with the SBC Facebook page in the past 60 days. Create audience. So outside of that email list, we've got a lot of these done. What you'll see is these numbers will continue to climb, even like 6-12 hours as Facebook has time to match and pair them and go through here. You'll see these continue to increase. And when they say ready, you can go ahead and add them to your campaigns, which I'm going to do here in a second. But you can go ahead and add them to a campaign, but those numbers will continue to climb in the amount of people. And we'll come back and check on that here in a second. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm now going to go set up the campaign. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to go over and I'm going to go to the Ads Manager. And I'll make sure that I'm in the right account, that I'm in the Summit Park Church account, and I'm going to go ahead and create a campaign. So in general, I love the conversions campaign or the traffic campaign when we're taking people and we're trying to get them to plan a visit or pre-register, or in traffic case, we're trying to get them from Facebook or Instagram over to like an Easter landing page or a New Here page. In this case, since the video is really geared to a retargeting, remarketing, my objective is I want these people to see the video. So I probably would do a video views campaign here or potentially a reach, but I'm just going to make it easy. I'm going to do a video views, and I'm going to call this post-Easter retarget video views campaign. So I'm going to copy that because I'm going to need that here in a second. I'm going to click continue. I'm going to click continue. I'm going to set this up also as the ad set name. And then here is where I'm going to say I'm going to use a custom audience. So I'm going to come in here, click on custom audiences. And this is where if you named everything like Easter, we can say, hey, we want to just add all these Easter audiences. I don't want to necessarily do 2018. So all these custom audiences that we set up, we're going to target them. So I'm going to go back through here and just make sure, we could add in the engagement. We could add in, we just launched a new campus, so I could add in those people as well. So whatever audiences that we're talking about, like the past 60 days, if I did that, like I can do a search for 60, right? Because we did those past 60 days. So this is where also I could exclude audiences. If I have like an email list, like if I don't want our email people in there since they're already on our email list, I could exclude them. I don't mind, again, including champions because I want the social proof and engagement in this case. You do want to geographically still limit your campaigns. Even though you're doing a custom audience, you still want to do within transportation distance of your church, because you might have somebody engaging with your page over in Utah or California. You don't want that. So in this case, I'm going to do Lee Summit. My rule of thumb with Church Marketing University is the hotter of audiences. So these are custom audiences. So these are warm or hot in marketing terms leads as opposed to cold. The hotter the audience, the wider of transportation zone, the colder, the more narrow. So in this case, I'm going to go 25 miles is fine because these are people who have been leaning in, who've been engaged or visited on Easter. So if they're already visiting and they're driving 20 miles, I'm okay with that. Since I'm not targeting everybody in this case, if I was going to run to a cold audience, I'd say, hey, like 10 miles. I'd really narrow that down, and I'd probably drop pins next to our campuses and say, hey, here's our South Campus, here's our North Campus. But in this case, I'm okay. I could do 25 miles from each campus. If people are driving in, I want to make sure that they get this retargeting. I'm not going to change any of, actually, I scratch that. I might say, hey, I'll go down to 13 because, again, I'm remarketing to people in these custom audiences. So I don't need to do interests or anything like that or detailed targeting. I'm not going to worry about the connection type. I'm going to leave automatic placements, and I'm going to say, hey, what do I want? And I'm going to say, in this case, either a through play or 10-second video views. And then I'm going to say a lifetime budget of maybe in this case, I'm going to spend $75. And I'm going to start today, and I want to run this through Sunday at like 9:53 a.m. because we have an 11:30 service, so maybe 10:53. So just enough to keep it in front, keep reminding them. If we have another invite or like a graphical sermon bumper, we might put a little money behind it, again, to the same audience, just keeping different ways to keep them excited and interested coming into the next week, and I'll probably running different ones leading up to Mother's Day. I'm going to say I want to get charged when Facebook gets me a 10-second video view. They're welcome to charge me. And then I'm going to click continue. And then I'm going to change this here. So a couple things that you can do. One is most of the campaigns I like to run, I'm running to a post on the page. So I've created this little video over here just as a really simple, goofy video that I'll show you guys. So either A, I could post this to the Summit Park Church page, get some good social proof on it, and then run the campaigns. Or B, I could just literally upload it as a ad and it just run as an ad. You can do either or. In general, I like to put it on the page, get some good social proof, and then run an ad to an existing post. So right here is where you would say select a post that's on your page. So if we posted this video on the page, then I would say, hey, I want to run the ad traffic to this video on the page. So it can be both an organic post and an ad. In this scenario, I'm going to show just by creating an ad, just by doing the video here. So here's the video. Again, I literally pulled out my phone here in the room that I'm at South Campus and hit record, and this is what came out. So we'll watch this video here. Hey friend, just wanted to say thank you so much for visiting church this past Sunday. And man, I had an incredible celebration. So cool to see so many new faces, meet so many new people. And I just want to invite you back. This week is really going to be incredible. So if you haven't been in church, maybe didn't grow up in church, we're going to be answering some of those big questions that people have. Why do bad things happen to good people? And why would a loving God create hell? There's so many of those questions I think people get hung up with and they just don't understand. And we're going to be looking at what does the Bible say about those big questions that we have in a series called Why God? It's kicking off this week. I pray that it's going to be a huge blessing in your life. So be sure to be here. The kids have got some really cool things planned as well, so they are going to love it. So I can't wait. Again, if you got one of our gift bags, you've got that ticket for a shirt. Be sure you bring that back because we've got a Summit Park shirt waiting for you. It's going to be a ton of fun. Can't wait to see you this weekend. God bless. So that you get the idea. Make it personal, make it invitational, give them a good reason, talk about what's in it for them. Why should they care if they're far from God? And then invite them to join you here. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add a single video. I'm going to choose the video and I'm going to choose that video I created. It's going to upload. And then once that it's starting to upload, and then now I got to come up with text here. You can add a website URL, so we could drop in summitparkchurch.com. You know, if we have an events page or a page about the new sermon series, we could put that. Display link, you know, we could say if we want it to look shorter, more, you know, if this was a bigger link than the display link, you could just say, hey, I want this to look cleaner. The headline, you know, you're invited. We talk a lot about this inside CMU about not using exclusionary language like we or join us or I. Don't talk about yourself. You want to talk about your audience. Put your audience at the center of any good marketing. So use words like your, you, that type of stuff. So much bigger fan of that than. So that's you're invited. We could add a description which is going to show up down here. You know, I'm off the cuff here, so we can just put in some deals here like this that's going to show you where it's going to populate. It's going to populate down here. So we could probably tie that into this week is going to be great at Summit Park Church, or have you tie into the question, whatever angle you go with your hook, you could tie that in. And then up here, you know, we could type in you're invited, or this week at Summit Park is going to be powerful. Again, if I had more time, I'd really think through kind of that messaging to really tie that in. to the messaging. I'd set do a better thumbnail there, customize the video, probably upload closed captions. One of the things I typically do is I'll upload it over to YouTube. I use a service called rev.com. It's $1 a minute. It'll automatically, if you sync your YouTube and your Rev account, it'll automatically put your captions to YouTube, which you can then run Google campaign ads to as well. And then you can download either directly from YouTube or directly from Rev your professionally done closed captions, so you're not saying anything funny. Or you can have Facebook do it and edit it on Facebook. So in this case, basically, I'd fill out this information, make it germane to my hook that I have, add the captions, change my thumbnails, and then all I'm going to do is click confirm. Again, the whole idea is we have all these people that we've spent all this time, money, energy, prayer to get them to lean in. How do I continue that journey? How do I continue inviting them back, continue inviting them to their next step, whatever that is? So what you'll do, that first step is set up your custom audiences. So you're telling Facebook, hey, Facebook, anybody out there in any of these things that are leaning in, starting to engage, have filled out a connect card, been on our website, been new here, been engaging with our videos, been on our Instagram, all of that, keep inviting them. Show them this invite video to keep bringing them back. I'm probably going to do this over the next few weeks, and then also leading into here in the US, Mother's Day, which is a huge weekend for us as well. Because I don't want to have that crash where it's just a big event and then nothing. I want to build off of that. I want people to take their next steps. I want to develop a relationship and an ongoing journey with them. And so this is one way. We're going to, not the only way, you're going to send hopefully email and text message and other ways to keep developing that relationship with people who came on Easter, but leveraging Facebook ads to continue that journey and custom audiences can be a very, very powerful and effective way to keep doing that. So there's so much more that we could talk about, but this is a kind of as quickest I could show you step-by-step video that hopefully now shows you how to remarket people after a big event like Easter and keep inviting them back, keep them engaged, and building that relationship. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below, and can't wait to see you on the next video. God bless.